peace everyone. Do you think that our loving Creator has sent his prophets with different messages to different corners of the world in order to teach each one of us different rules and regulations so we can dispute with each other and kill each other in the name of religion? Don't you think that would make our Creator a wicked creator? Therefore, obviously something is wrong. If you study our Creator's scriptures, you would realize that he commanded all of his prophets, and all the people in the world, to follow from the nation of Abraham. But, right after those prophets, we forgot about our Creator's covenant with Abraham, and we started to worship those prophets, instead of our Creator, and we came up with Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and other 4,200, fake, and man-made religions. Here is what our Creator says. Who would forsake the nation of Abraham, except one who fools his own soul? We have chosen Abraham in this world, and in the hereafter he will be with the righteous. We must realize that the reason we are here, and all of those 7 universes, is because of our Creator. So we are his servants, and we must follow the rules of our landlord in order to be happy. Ever since 1974, the Almighty Creator has been revealing mathematical signs in the Arabic Quran through 2 American scientists. And in our time, mathematics is the exact science. So far there are 1,500 pages of scientific reports available. These awesome signs purified the Arabic Quran, and proved that our Creator exists, and the Arabic Quran is the only untouched message from our Creator, among those other distorted ones. I must tell you, that it does not have anything to do with Muslims and Islam. Quran came down for all the people in the world. Muslims deny those signs, and they have been inflicted with disasters like revolutions after revolutions, wars, poverties, illiteracy, and they are amongst the unhappiest people on earth, and they have brought that ugly name of terrorists upon themselves. Through the past tapes, our Creator informed us that his name is Allah, not God, or any other made-up names in different languages. Also we found out that the names of prophets are all exactly the same in the original languages of Torah, in Hebrew, the Injil, in Aramaic, and the Arabic Quran. And if you want to understand Allah's system, you must study the Arabic Quran. In Surah 55, we read, "The gracious teacher of the Quran." But, which Quran is he talking about? Allah is talking about the Arabic Quran, which he repeated 10 times in the Quran. Allah says, "We sent down the Arabic Quran, that you may use your brain." Allah is not joking with us. Therefore, Allah is the teacher of the Arabic Quran. Not those so-called Quran translations, in different languages. Because, the teacher of those Qurans, are the ones, who translated them, and, not Allah. If you are reading, John Doe's Quran, that means, you are reading another book, besides Allah's Arabic Quran. Therefore, you took that translator, as a god, besides Allah, in order to teach you his Quran translation. The reason Allah says Arabic is because each word in Arabic language has several meanings. And when you look it up in Arabic dictionary, Allah intervenes, and mysteriously inspires you the correct meaning. That is, if you are mutahhar, meaning pure, at heart. That is why Allah says that he is the teacher of the Quran. This is the true fact, in Aramaic, and Hebrew language, as well. It is a blasphemy against Allah, when translators use the word Quran on the cover of their translations. Another word that would be another hadith, and that is how hadith came about. Because that is only their own understanding of the Quran. So, if you left this word by studying those translations, make sure that you will be questioned on the other side. And Allah will ask you, "Why didn't you study my Arabic Quran?" Then you would be sorry. Therefore, study the Arabic Quran, while you have some times left. And Allah informed us about 10% charity for our zakat. As you have been witnessing, through these tapes, Allah has been informing us about so many other special hidden knowledge in the Quran, called hikmat. Allah has been blessing us with these hikmats, and He has been taking us light years ahead of other people who have been paralyzed and hypnotized by shaitan through TV, sex and intoxicants. That is why they do not have the slightest idea of what we are talking about. These tapes are for future generations, and maybe our children will become famous in the future because of these tapes. We talked about almost all of the prophets and messengers in the Arabic Quran, and now we are going to talk about Dawood and his son, Suleiman. Their history, in the Quran, is the most fascinating, the most powerful, and at the same time it has been a mystery for all these years. Allah blessed these father and son more than his other messengers. Around 1995 I made a VHS home video about Dawood and Suleiman, and I am going to narrate some of it for you. Let us read some of the ayat from the Quran. These are from the Surah 27, the Ant. We endowed Dawood and Suleiman with knowledge, and they said, "Praise Allah for blessing us more than many of His believing servants." Suleiman said, "My Lord, forgive me, and grant me a kingship, never attained by anyone else. You are the grantor." That was an awesome powerful prayer. Not many people pray for such a thing. The story of Suleiman and Dawood shows us that Allah is the only one who could answer our prayers, no matter how great and unbelievable would be. Suleiman is a submitter to Allah, asking Allah for His blessings. Not like the ones who decided to be the ruler on earth and invade other countries, like Genghis Khan, Iskander the Great, Napoleon, or Hitler. The word that Allah used for ruler in this ayah is Khalifa. Like Dr. Rashad Khalifa. Rashad means the guided one, and Khalifa means the king, ruler, representative, deputy. So his name means the guided king. And he was. Subhanallah. That is how Allah chooses our names. Allah used the word Khalifa only 2 times in the Arabic Quran. One for Adam, and the other one for Suleiman. Isn't it awesome? At the time of Adam, that was only him and his family on earth. Therefore, he was the only king on earth. And at the time of Suleiman, Allah gave him a power in order to rule the whole world. That was the most powerful position that anyone could receive from Allah, ever, in the history of mankind. Suleiman was Dawood's heir. He said, "O people, we have been endowed with understanding the language of the birds, and all kinds of things have been bestowed upon us. This is indeed a real blessing. What would you do if you knew how to communicate with birds?" It has been years that our researchers have been studying animal signs, reactions, and sounds, in order to understand how their community works. But, if we knew their language, we could have asked those birds, why do they migrate, or how does their GPS works? Or how do they know when to migrate? Do they understand our language? Or they just find out what we are doing by observing us? I am sure you would have many questions. Then, the ayah says, they were gathered together, for Suleiman were his obedient soldiers of jinns and humans, as well as the birds, all at his disposal. Now here, Allah says that he let some jinns work for him. Then, through the ayat of the Arabic Quran, Allah will tell us what those jinns are capable of. Then, when Suleiman and his group approached the valley of the ants, one ant said, "O you ants, go into your homes, lest you get crushed by Suleiman and his soldiers, without perceiving." Subhanallah. We think animals are unaware and dumb. Yet, they are totally aware, but we cannot find out just by looking at them. How did this little ant knew the name of Suleiman? Who told her about Suleiman and his soldiers? This is awesome. Could she recognize him? Or maybe those birds told her. That means birds and insects could communicate with each other as well. Allah says that those creatures are communities just like us. We speak in different languages in different parts of the world, but we are able to learn each other's languages. Animals are fully aware of what humans are doing, and they are witnessing our acts all the time. Just like surveillance cameras. Animals take care of each other as well, even if they might not be within the same family line. You want to check on YouTube for animal odd couples. It will bring tears to your eyes, especially the one about a goat and a horse. Your dog could warn you when you are going to have an heart attack. Because he could hear your heartbeats, and could hear the flow of blood in your veins. They are all submitters, and none are arrogant like humans. If I was an animal, I would have said, "Who are you calling dumb and stupid, you arrogant and unappreciative human beings?" Remember, the Arabic Quran does not lie to us. These are all scientific facts, proven by mathematics, mother of all sciences. So far, the Arabic Quran is telling us that Allah ordered the birds, jinns, and some humans to obey Suleiman as his soldiers. And he could communicate with them verbally. These are awesome powers, given to him by Allah. One can only imagine about those powers. Allah be glorified. Also, you would recognize that all of them were submitters to Allah, and they would follow any commandment that He gives to them. Every ayah of this book contains an awesome sign from Allah, and we just have to ask Allah to make us understand His Arabic Quran, and make us mutaha. Let me ask you this question again. Why did Allah let those animals be aware of what we are doing? And why Allah did not allow us to understand animals' communications? Do you know why? Because animals are all submitters to Allah, and that is why He preferred them over us, except His believing servants. When Suleiman heard the ant, he smiled and laughed at her statement, and said, "My Lord, direct me to be appreciative of the blessings you have bestowed upon me and my parents, and to do the righteous works that please you. Admit me by your mercy into the company of your righteous servants." Now, this ayah is the 19th ayah of this surah. And number 19 is the secret code of the Arabic Quran. And Suleiman just repeated the same ayah in Surah 46, ayah 15, which it says, "We enjoin the human being to honor his parents. His mother bore him arduously, gave birth to him arduously, and took intimate care of him for 30 months. When he reaches maturity, and reaches the age of 40. And now here is the same phrase, which Suleiman repeated. He should say, "My Lord, direct me to appreciate the blessings you have bestowed upon me and upon my parents, and to do the righteous works that please you. Let my children be righteous as well. I have repented to you, I am a submitter." Therefore, Suleiman must have been around 40 years of age at that moment. Therefore, he became a messenger before the age of 40, or maybe right at the age of 40. Surah 27, the ants, starts with initial T. S. which constitutes a complex part of mathematical miracle of the Arabic Quran, based on number 19. This surah came 19 surah before Surah 46. And Muhammad did not know why Suleiman was repenting until 18 surah after, which is the 66th surah revealed to him. Then he found out why Suleiman repented. That means we would be the ones who find out about the hikmat of Surah 27, and its relation to Surah 46. Because of the mathematical miracle of the Arabic Quran. For the ayat of the Quran, please read Surah 27 and 38. Until the next tape, peace.